Hi. Hello. How is everyone? So, today the energy has just been insane. I mean, I feel like I have so much energy and I don't know if it's the weather or if it's just a general energy going on right now. But I wanted to hop on and do a reading, but also talk about some questions that we had in the comment section um, about 5D experiences in our twin. So for me, my awakening was very, very rapid. My Kundalini awakening was very, very rapid. I found out who my twin was, and then I knew there was some kind of pull. There was some kind of pull to having him in my life, and wasn't really sure what to place or call that. So I ended up reaching out to a psychic on Instagram, actually, and I was explaining to her all of the things that was going on. Like, I could feel his energy, I could see where his pain was, I could visualize it in my mind. I would be in the shower, and there would be times where I would just be able to visualize where he was, what he was doing, and just see his heart, and where there were spots that needed healing, and be able to kind of go within. And this is before I got into Reiki or any kind of energy work. I wasn't really sure what I was doing. All I knew was that it felt good to kind of breathe through things and visualize releasing that energy for him. So I went through that process and explained all of this to her, and she explained to me. She said, "Well, that's because you're a twin flame." And I said, "A what?" I had no concept of anything spiritual wise. I've seen spirits since I was younger, but didn't know what exactly that was, so it used to scare me. Um, and she explained that I was a light worker, a twin flame. And so I just did some digging on my own and learned more about it, and really threw myself into the self work to get to a point that I felt comfortable. Um, I want to say it was close to a year later that, yeah, it was close to a year later that I decided to really um, throw myself into my mission. We weren't yet in union, but I knew I had a bigger mission that went beyond just him. So I really threw myself into that. And through that, I feel like my 5D experiences with him have just grown. I mean, before I had to really, I think I had to be dreaming when I would connect with him, and we would meet within the 5D realm, and I would visualize him, and our souls would meet. And I mean, I think we all know that it's not a physical experience that happens when that happens. So um, we would just meet in the 5D, and I just held on to those moments of just pure bliss, and it kind of helped me get through the physical part of separation and the runner chaser. And I don't like subscribing to those beliefs because I don't feel like everyone's twin flame experience is the same. And I don't feel like everyone has to go through the runner chaser phase. I don't feel like everyone has to go through separation. It all depends on what your soul contract was before you got here. So I don't like to subscribe to those beliefs, but for me, that was the case, and that was what happened, and that was what we had to go through to be able to get to where we're at now. With that being said, I wanted to do a reading today that focuses on the divine masculine, divine masculine and divine feminine energy that is going on, because I feel like we are all in a place where the energy is just nuts. Like, I know for me, I'm going through a lot of purging and releasing, and I'm looking at healing like, okay, all right, we're going through this again. Okay, we're healing this again. Okay, clearly I didn't get it all last time, and I know that life is a constant healing process, but it's annoying to have to like keep repeating things and keep repeating healing that we feel like we've already done. But it's worth it in the end. And I know that ultimately it's for my best and highest good to do it, but that doesn't mean that it's not irritating and frustrating to do it. So I think that right now, the divine feminine, I guess we're starting with the divine feminine. Like, I thought we were going to start with the divine masculine, but here we are, starting with the divine feminine. Um, yeah, so the divine feminine is having an awakening. We're changing the way we're looking at situations. We're truly embracing ourselves. We're embracing the gifts that we've been given and realizing who we are and how much power we hold within just ourselves, and that we're not tied to our divine masculine to bring that power out. That whether we're in union or not, we are just as powerful. And I feel like that's a really, really strong message that's coming through for the divine feminines right now. Yeah, the moon. We are a lot of the divine feminines are already awakened. However, their divine masculines or divine counterparts are not fully awakened. And we're going through an ego death of our own right now. I feel like divine masculines are going through an ego death right now where they're having to kind of figure out who they are. But while they're going through that, we're going through the same thing. We're dealing with a death of a concept that we held for what this is supposed to mean and what this relationship is supposed to be. Five of Summer. Trust that there's a reason for everything that happens. Remove yourself from the negative emotions of others, focusing on that which frightens or worries you. So I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is my first on-camera reading, and I talked to Betsy before doing it, and I was like, oh, I'm so nervous. Like, I don't know why I'm so nervous or anxious about it, because doing readings is what I love to do, but it's so different. Like, when you're sitting in front of a camera, just talking to a general audience that isn't a one-on-one scenario. But I feel like that's very reminiscent of what the divine feminines are going through right now. They're stepping into that power of saying, you know what, this scares me, but it's a good thing. That fear is a good thing. That fear means that you're exploring an option of something that brings you joy. You feel passionate about it, and it scares you to follow through with that because you feel passionate and don't want to fail. So we're going through an ego death of our own and realizing our own separate uniqueness. And I love that. I love that we're going through that right now, because I'm learning so much about myself and so much about different things that I thought, even in terms of the twin flame dynamic, that I feel are important, that we sometimes forget along the way because we get so focused on the end result that we forget the process. Yes, justice. So take the time to review the details carefully. You will win in the end. Fair and objective decisions. So take the time to heal. Taking that time to do what is best for you, without feeling guilty about doing it. I think we tend to feel guilty when we take time for ourselves. But self-care is super important. And I think Betsy and I talked about that in the last video, about self-care isn't just manicures and getting your hair done and getting facials and Epsom salt baths. It's about the day-to-day spiritual work that you're doing with yourself, the healing that you're doing, allowing yourself that time to heal, allowing yourself that time to grieve. Because I feel like right now, the divine feminine as a collective is going through a period of grieving an ego that they have held on to for so long that's falling away. And their divine counterparts are awakening, and that is creating even more of an ego death within them, within the divine feminine collective, because when your divine counterpart awakens, it awakens different things within you. It's not the same type of awakening that was before. This is an awakening of grief. It's an awakening of triggers. It's an awakening of wounds. So it's not as painful as your first awakening, but it's still painful nonetheless. And I feel that as a collective, we tend to be very hard on ourselves, and we beat ourselves up about, well, I've healed this, so why am I going through this again? And it's okay. It's okay to feel these things. It's okay to go through the motions. It's okay to not understand what's going on right now. What's not okay is beating yourself up over it or beating up your divine masculine over it, because you're both going through things right now. And this full moon brought a lot of intense emotions for both the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So that's beautiful. I love that. All right, let's see. And I pulled out my Alice in Wonderland deck because I have been super drawn to that lately. I don't know what's going on. I just love the messages on them, and I'm a huge Disney freak, so I think I just am a little partial to that. All right. Let's see what messages. Woo! All right, I think we were supposed to have this one. So, choices. Feeling blocked or restrained. Yes, so feeling trapped within the situation that you're in. Twin flames isn't a sentence. It's not like a prison term where you're somehow trapped within this loop of awakening and healing. I feel like sometimes we forget that it's about evolution. It's about evolving together, in union. And that doesn't always happen in this lifetime. And I think people get trapped in the belief that it has to happen in this lifetime, and that's not the case. And I don't know who needed to hear that, but sometimes this lifetime is just not. It's just not it, and that's not a bad thing. It just means that this lifetime is about you, and that's it's always tea time. Yes, so eternity, endless moments, and repetition. We don't want to repeat the same patterns. We don't want to repeat the same mistakes that we've made. And you can feel trapped within a pattern. You can feel trapped within certain circumstances and situations that you just keep repeating karma. And that's not what we're here to do. 100%. We're not here to repeat karma. We're here to clear it. We're here to clear our family karma. We're here to clear our own karma and ascend and be better for the next lifetime. So keep your temper. Don't allow anger to rule you. I feel like a lot of us are being triggered right now, by our divine masculines. There's a lot of people out there that are allowing their divine masculine to control their emotions. They're allowing other people to control their thoughts and emotions, and that's resulting in being stuck within the same karmic pattern. And like I said before, we don't have to remain trapped there. We just have to do the work to release that belief system, release that thought process that somehow we're not good enough, somehow we're not worthy, somehow we don't deserve love, somehow we don't deserve all of the things that we want in life, because they're all readily accessible to us. We just have to be willing to pull that energy down into us and truly believe it, because we can say it all we want. I can say I want a Maserati. Where did that come from? I'm not even a car person, but I can say I want a Maserati all I want, but if I don't believe that I can attain that, then I'm never going to. It's just a wish list at that point, if you will. Truly getting in the energy of what you want and truly seeing yourself stepping into that life and living that life and start living your life the way that you want to live your life is part of it. I think that too many of us get stuck in living for someone else's beliefs and someone else's ideals and what someone else wants for us, that we don't live our lives for ourselves. And that's a constant struggle with the divine feminine. I feel like it's just a lifelong struggle that we have to kind of move through. So I feel like that's the energy we're in right now with the divine feminine, is moving through that energy of stop repeating ourselves, stop repeating the karma, stop beating ourselves up over things, take the time to care for ourselves and be gentle with ourselves as we let down our egos and heal. So I think that's beautiful. Let's see what we get for the divine masculine. Sorry, just need to take a sip. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see. For the divine masculines, what does spirit want us to know? Okay. So we have the Ten of Winter, which is the resolution of difficulties, a weight lifted off your shoulders, the end of an addiction or codependency. That's so funny because that so resonates with me right now. That's exactly what my twin and I are going through, and it's so funny how accurate the cards can be. And the Five of Winter, walk away from dishonest associations, realizing that what you thought you wanted isn't the best choice for your happiness, something that's not worth the effort. Oh, divine masculines. My heart just breaks for them right now. It really does. I feel like they're having a rough go at it. A lot of them are releasing, again, they're releasing belief systems just how we are. The difference is we've just had our awakening and they're just starting to kind of awaken. They're very much in their ego right now. I feel like they're constantly thinking about, am I good enough? Am I not good enough? This is what I should be doing, and this is what society tells me to do, but this isn't what I want. So they're stuck in that limbo position of what they want and what they know to be true, because those are two very different things. I feel as though the wants are society's pressure on them. So they're creating a reality of, this is what I want because this is what I'm supposed to want. But deep down they know, no, this is what I truly want and this is what is in alignment with me. But I'm so scared to allow that to come into fruition because what will people think of me? That's why I said my heart breaks for them right now, because it's a tough spot to be in. It's not easy. So they also got the moon. Excuse me. So they're having a lot of epiphanies. Like I said, they're awakening. They are feeling emotions. They're feeling their way through things right now instead of logically thinking their way through them. And I think that's really beautiful, because I feel like as a society we have for too long made it so that men had to logically think about things instead of emotionally feeling their way through it. And I'm so happy to see that a lot of these masculines are starting to truly feel. They're coming into themselves and understanding that feelings aren't a bad thing and it's okay to communicate those feelings. So yeah, that's really beautiful. I love that. They also got justice. So I feel like we're very much in alignment with our divine masculine right now. We're feeling a lot of their energy. We're feeling a lot of the things that they're feeling. We're allowing ourselves to hold the space for them, but know that they're doing their healing, and that's what needs to happen. And I think that that is a beautiful place for us to be with our twin. I know some people. I know some people are in separation right now, and it seems like you're never going to be in union, that they're never coming back, that they're just gone forever, and you're never going to see them again. But I can tell you that the time they're away right now, they're working on themselves. They're healing old wounds. They're reframing their minds to come into a place that they feel like they're worthy enough for you. So twin flame is a mirror. As we're working on our self-worth, we have to expect that they're working on their self-worth also. That's something that I feel like a lot of divine masculines struggle with, that somehow they're not good enough for their divine feminine. Somehow they're just not enough. And therefore they tend to create wounding within the divine feminine. Not wounding, that's the wrong word. They trigger our wounding, I guess I would say. Of not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy enough by doing destructive things and having destructive behavior. And I feel like right now they're really working through that. They're really working through these thoughts. They're really working through these addictions. They're really working through these negative thought processes that they've held their entire life, that society has placed on them. And they're allowing the truths of situations, and they're allowing the truth to come to them, and they're starting to express their truth, and just be patient with them. It's hard. I mean, I think we can all remember our awakening. It's not a fun experience. It's painful. It feels gut wrenching. I remember during my Kundalini awakening, I laid in bed for days. I couldn't go to work. I was completely just bogged down and depressed, and it was hard to navigate on my own. And I think it's important for us to remember that if our divine masculine reaches out, it's truly for help, and not to dismiss them, not to make them feel somehow wrong because they've been gone for so long. If they're reaching out for help, I think that it's the divine masculine, or I'm sorry, the divine feminines, in our best interest to help them with what we can, because going at it alone is never fun. And I think we all remember our situation. So just be gentle with them. I'm not saying that you have to go out of your way to be like, hey, are you okay? Hey, I know you're going through an awakening. No, don't do that. But allow them, if they come to you, allow them to hold that space for them. Allow them to come to you and ask the questions they need answers to, and they're still going to pull away after that, chances are, to really figure things out, because it goes against their nature. It goes against everything they've ever thought. But allow them that space to do that, because they need that. They need answers, but at the same time, they need that time to themselves to truly figure out what's going on. So let's see. All right. So they got, you can't go back to yesterday. Be in the present. So the divine masculines are trying to integrate all of these triggers and all of these wounds and everything that they've been going through in their lifetime. They're trying to integrate that into the present so that they can release it. They're trying to get to the root of what the problem is and what's happened in their lifetime. I feel like a lot of the divine feminines have been embracing their fiery energy and their raw sexual beauty, and I feel like that's intimidating to some of the divine masculines right now, and it's triggering them to figure out, okay, am I intimidated by strong women, or am I like so insecure that it triggers me for following the unknown, descent, momentum, and change. So things are changing for them, and that's scary. It's a scary thing not to understand where your mind is going or why things are happening, why you're feeling certain things, why you're triggered by certain things. And I always say exploring your own mind can be one of the most terrifying places to explore. Like catacombs, pyramids, all that other stuff. Like, that's all fine and dandy, but your own mind can be a really scary place. 28, nonsense. It's time to talk sense. So, like I said, I think that relates to them coming to you for advice on things, and don't BS them. Don't try and talk your way into a corner. I don't know who needed to hear that, but don't try and talk them, I guess, into a corner of giving you answers for things. Don't try and force them to give you answers to questions that they haven't even answered themselves. And try and be patient and take the time to just give them the answers that you know the answers to, but also allow them the space to figure things out for themselves. Yeah, and I think that's really beautiful. Let's see. So I wanted to pull from the Mystical Shaman Oracle cards because I love them, and I feel like they always have really sage advice. And I think that's really funny because shamans and sage just make me laugh. All right, let's see what overall advice they have for us. Let's see. All right, I know what that card is if it comes out again. All right. So, I love these cards. They're so pretty. We have the Time Master and the Vision Quest. So, let's see what the advice is for them. I love when they come out in like sequence like that, so you know that like you're making progress, like 57 and 60, you know that you're moving forward. I love that. So, the essence of the Time Master. Time is a construct of human mind through which life events are seen to flow in a straight line from past to future. This, however, is an illusion. Time moves in patterns, fractals, sometimes turning like a wheel and others moving straight as an arrow. Humans see time like a ticking clock, and this image reminds us that there is only so much of it to spend in life, like a currency. At any given moment, you can see in all its infinite potential. At once vast and all-encompassing, then shrunken and finite. It all depends on perspective. When the Time Master visits you, he asks a most important question. Will you break free from the limited cause and effect thinking by moving beyond the linear illusion and welcoming the cyclic quality of time? You find yourself in a moment when the wheel of time turns and you're able to influence the past, thus changing the present and future simultaneously. This is the true test of the Time Master. You're being invited to take back your power, so let go of the past and choose to step into your life. In this moment, you are all powerful. You are the Time Master. Anything is possible now. So I feel like that directly correlates to the Divine Feminine reading. Talking about stepping into your power, believing in yourself, breaking free of those chains of limiting belief that you've held. And that fiery energy, that creativity, your sacral chakra, really embracing that and moving forward with what you know to be your life's mission without worrying about what the Divine Masculine is doing. Being gentle with him, yes, but not being concerned about where he's at, because where you're at is more important. So, for the Vision Quest 60, and of course I feel like this is probably going to be for the Divine Masculine, so in the Vision Quest you face your fear, embrace your mortality, and then meet face to face with spirit. When we feel stagnant, a Vision Quest brings our lives into perspective. We realize our flaws, our potential, and the opportunity life is now offering us. We remain on a Vision Quest until we find the key to open a new door or write a new chapter in our lives. The invitation is to find clarity by spending time alone in nature. If you live in a city, go for walks in a park. If you live in the country, make sure that you spend time outside in contemplation. Get off the couch, get away from your desk, go outside. Spirits help those who help themselves. So set your intention and ask nature for a guiding vision for your life. So, like I said, they're looking for answers. They're seeking answers. They're trying to work on themselves. They're trying to heal, and they're trying to do everything they can to do that. So if you're a Divine Masculine watching this, then take the time. Go out in nature. Take the time to heal for yourself. Be alone, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to get curious. Don't be afraid of what people will think if you ask certain questions or Google a certain thing, or who's tapping your phone to look in and see what you're looking up, because it doesn't matter. Make sure that you're doing what you need to do that's best for you at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, you're all you have left in this world at the end. Just you, your soul. Because when you leave, you'll see souls on the other side, but during that transition, it's just you. So my advice would be to, again, Divine Feminines, embrace that power. Divine Masculines, get out in nature, heal yourself, work on yourself, and enjoy. And the weather's beautiful in Maryland right now. I don't know where everyone's at, but here it's beautiful. It's a perfect time to get outside and really just enjoy life. So, yeah, feel free to comment below any questions. Let me know what you think of the video. And feel free to message if you want a reading, or if you want to buy any of Betsy's clothing line, which is amazing, and I can't wait to get my t-shirts and mugs. So, yeah, comment below, like the video, let us know what you think. Have a great one, guys. Bye.